in people's day-to-day life. And in the current times, more Kenyans are looking for ways to release their stress. One way is talk therapy, which many are aware of, but there is another one that may just be music to your ears: sound immersion therapy. A number of Kenyans are exploring this avenue to find release. NTV's Sylvia Muya turns up the volume and insight on these sounds of healing.
The human mind's reaction to sounds is intriguing. It either makes one feel safe or prepares them for fight or flight. According to Alia Dato, who is a sound therapist, sound can also be used for therapeutic purposes. Listening to your favorite tracks as you go about your day or night can be a form of sound therapy, but the kind that Dato offers is a different experience.
Sound immersion is exactly what it sounds like. It's an immersion through sound. What that does basically is involve multiple frequencies coming together, causing or creating different effects in your body through vibrations, through frequencies, through the sound effects, and taking you into a whole, I like to call it subconscious state, where your conscious mind switches off, takes a backstage, goes into rest, and your conscious mind or unconscious mind comes through for you, or subconscious mind as they call it, yeah. So you're in a complete state of rest and relaxation and complete bliss.
Alia set up ENSO's Sound Immersion Studio in October 2023, which she says is the first of its kind in East Africa. She says she comes from a long line of healers and decided to follow her calling.
I had experienced my first sound immersion online, and it made a big difference to me in terms of calming me mentally. And I felt this would be something that people at large would be able to benefit from once they experience it.
The therapist tells us that many people have visited them looking for a way to relieve their stress, and she guides them to release it by skillfully using her instruments to produce specific vibrations and frequencies meant for healing.
We have private sessions, so that's like, focused on the individual's need. For example, where people come to us with insomnia, people coming with depression, with anxiety issues, and we work preliminary on those issues.
Every time I come in, I experience rest, rejuvenation, and relaxation. Every sound bath is different, and I'm able to get deeper, better sleep and experience better interactions in terms of mindfulness and presence. In the sound bath, I am able to understand that all that is here now.
The therapy session happens when one is lying flat on their back, on cushions with their feet slightly elevated and covered with a blanket.
Now, sound works on the premise of vibration, purely vibration. Our bodies are made up of 75–80% water, and sound vibrates that water. It creates like ripples. It's like if you look into a lake, a very still lake, it looks very, still and quiet. And you throw one pebble in the middle, and you see the ripples going to the edge of the lake, right? That's how sound works. So with those little vibrations and frequencies, sound tends to bring up emotions for release, bring up past traumas for release, bring up stress, hormonal issues, whatever it is, up for release. And then it deals with that on a frequency and vibration level. So that release takes place on not just your physical level, it takes place on an emotional level. So we've seen people release in terms of crying. I've had people who've come here and just yelled, years of pain and anguish in their hearts, just literally let it all out. I've had people who've had, like mental clarity come forth. They have better sleep patterns. The sleep tends to go back to normal because now that is mentally released. So it happens on different levels for different people. No two people have the same form or type of release.
In the 45-minute session, Alia walks around the room playing various instruments that all produce sounds at various frequencies, some mimicking elements such as thunder, rain, and ocean waves.
So the colorful balls that you see, those are crystal balls. Now, I love working with crystal balls because they have a nice resonance. They sound really loud. And crystal balls are made of 99.9% quartz crystal. And the 1% is said to be silica, and silica is present in our bones as well. So it's very closely linked to the human body. And the vibrations are pretty strong, so you feel the vibrations at a deeper level.
Sound immersion works on the basis that humans not only hear sound, but feel it as well. Alia said that this was confirmed in a recent encounter with a client who is deaf.
You know, when we were playing the bowls, the vibration could be felt on her fingers. When I was doing the gong, she could feel that heart thumping of hers. Like she could feel that beat in her heart. As I was playing the other instruments, she could feel it in her crown, you know? So apparently, I guess you can feel sound then, based on that experience.
The roots of sound therapy can be traced back to ancient civilizations, from ancient Greeks who used flutes and lyres to treat digestion and mental illness, to Tibetans who used singing bowls for over 2,000 years for meditation.
When you start to study and go back to the history of sound, you understand it's not about what they were saying, it was about the vibration they were creating through that sound that had that purpose of whether it was a healing or, and it's common. I mean, if you look at music nowadays, some notes and some sounds or some songs tend to make you feel depressed. Some songs, uplift you and make you feel like, yeah, I could dance all day. I've got so much energy, right? That was the basis that we use and that they used to use probably with sound. So religion is very far from what we do. This is more about, you could call it, now it's becoming, science, because people are now diving into the science of sound.
This ancient wellness practice has been found to improve aggressive and antisocial behavior in children and youth, and even reduce pain for cancer patients. Modern resurgence of ancient methods might change the game for tackling mental, physical, and emotional issues. Sylvia Muir, NTV.